She told me not to open the box. When my grandma passed away, she left me a wooden box with a brass latch, no key. Just a note. Don't open this until you're ready to understand me. What did that even mean? For years, it sat untouched in the attic. I'd visit it sometimes, wondering if I was ready. Ready for what? Regret? Secrets? Her pain? Last month, I finally opened it. Inside, letters. Dozens of them. All written to someone named Ellie. They dated back to the 1950s. I never heard of her. Turns out Ellie was the woman my grandmother loved. Really loved. But she married my grandfather instead, out of fear, pressure, maybe survival. The letters were filled with raw honesty, grief, and hope. She never stopped loving Ellie, not once. Suddenly, so many pieces of her made sense. Her quiet sadness, her long walks alone, why she always told me to love loud, even if it's scary. She wasn't just my grandma, she was someone who buried her truth for a lifetime. I folded the last letter and cried. Not just for her, but for all the people who never got to live out loud. The missed call. I was scrolling through my phone late one night and noticed a missed call from an unknown number. No voicemail, just a call, placed at 2:17 a.m. Something about it felt eerie. The area code was from my hometown, a small place I hadn't visited in years. Then I noticed something else. That exact number used to belong to my dad. He passed away 7 years ago. I laughed it off. Must be a coincidence. But out of curiosity, I texted back, "Wrong number?" No reply. Until the next night, at 2:17 a.m., same number, same missed call. I didn't sleep. I didn't answer. But I haven't deleted the number either. Something in me keeps thinking, what if it wasn't a mistake? What if there's a message I'm not ready to hear? Or worse, one I missed. The letter I was never meant to read. While cleaning out my grandmother's attic, I stumbled upon a shoebox filled with old letters tied in faded ribbon. I wasn't trying to snoop, I thought it was just keepsakes. But one envelope caught my eye. It had my mother's name on it, and it was written by my grandfather who died before I was born. The letter wasn't sweet. It was raw, honest. It spoke of regrets, of wanting to abandon everything, of a secret second family in another town. My hands trembled as I read each word. It felt like I had cracked open a truth no one wanted told. I asked my mom about it later cautiously. Her eyes welled up, and she said she always knew there were things about her. Father she didn't understand. She never told me the details, but she didn't take the letter back either. Sometimes the past whispers from Dusty. He wasn't supposed to see that. My younger brother borrowed my tablet to play a game. I didn't think twice until he came to me, pale-faced, holding it out with shaking hands. "You left the camera on," he said. "I saw something." I checked the footage. There was nothing at first. Just my bedroom, quiet, empty. But then, around 2:13 a.m., the door creaked open slowly. No one entered, but the door kept moving. Then the light flickered. Then, in the reflection of the mirror, someone standing at the foot of the bed. I live alone. I deleted the footage that night, but I didn't sleep. And I haven't spent a single night in that apartment since. She told me it was just a dream, but I had the same one. My girlfriend woke up panicked one night, whispering that she'd had a nightmare. A man with no face stood at the end of our bed, whispering our names backwards. I comforted her and brushed it off. Just a dream, right? Except the next night, I had the exact same dream. Same man, same backwards whispering, same feeling of being watched. We compared details down to the flickering hallway light and the ticking of a clock we don't even own. We haven't slept properly since. We even moved apartments. But sometimes, we both wake up at 3:12 a.m. every single time. No dreams, just wide-awake silence. He proposed, but to the wrong sister. We're identical twins. People always joked it'd be easy to mix us up. It was funny until my sister's boyfriend got down on one knee in front of me. He was nervous, eyes glassy, clearly in love. But the name he whispered was mine. And for one terrifying moment, I realized he wasn't joking. Turns out he'd been texting me by mistake for months. Emotional late-night convos, sharing songs, talking about the future. He thought it was her. But he'd fallen for me. I never told my sister. But I declined the proposal because I loved them both too much to ruin everything. The mirror doesn't show my reflection anymore. At first, I thought it was a glitchy TikTok filter, but every mirror, every selfie, every reflective surface, nothing shows me anymore. I can see the room behind me, the walls, the bed, the open closet door, but never me. I still cast a shadow. People still see me, but the mirror? It's like I don't exist. The scariest part? Sometimes I catch a glimpse of something, not me. Something darker. Same shape, same movements, but it's not mimicking me anymore. Sometimes it just stands there, watching. My ex sent me a playlist after he died. We hadn't talked in years. After he passed, I cried, but I moved on. Until one day, I got a Spotify notification. Name just shared a playlist with you. It was called For When You Miss Me. All our songs, tracks we used to scream in the car, our breakup song, and one new one, a song released after he died. Its lyrics? I'm still with you. You just don't know it yet. I still don't know how it happened. But I play that playlist every week. Why was she wearing my clothes? I came home early from work and saw a woman in my apartment, back to me, folding laundry. I thought it was my roommate, but when she turned, it wasn't her. It wasn't anyone I knew. She was wearing my hoodie, my socks, even my necklace. She just smiled and said, "You always leave the door unlocked." I screamed, ran, and called the cops. When they arrived, she was gone. No sign of forced entry, no missing clothes. But I found a note on my pillow. I just wanted to see what it felt like to be you. He made a joke about my future, but it all came true. At 19, a psychic told me I'd fall in love 3 times, lose one, and find the truth in a lie. I laughed. Sounded like something out of a teen drama. I dated 3 people. The second one died in an accident. I married the third. Last month, I found out he'd been hiding a secret child for 5 years. I left. Now I look back and realize that psychic wasn't joking. She told me exactly what was coming. I just didn't listen. I was the bridesmaid until I saw the groom texting me. She was my best friend, the kind of girl who made friendship look like a sacred thing. I was her maid of honor, fixing her veil, calming her nerves. The moment was perfect, until I checked my phone. One new message, from the groom. "Are you sure you're not the one I should be marrying?" I froze, my hands went cold. He'd sent it minutes before, walking down the aisle. I didn't respond. I walked her down that aisle, helped her smile for photos, toasted their love. But every time I looked at her, guilt clawed at me. Because the truth was, we'd kissed twice, months ago. I haven't spoken to either of them since, but I still keep the dress and that message. Proof of a love that almost ruined 3 lives. My son said a woman watches him sleep, we live alone. It started with little things, my 4-year-old talking to corners, asking for an extra plate at dinner, calling someone her. I chalked it up to imagination, until one night I heard him whispering. I cracked the door. He sat up in bed, staring into the dark. "Good night, lady." "Please don't cry," I asked him the next morning. He said, "The lady in the long dress. She stands next to your side of the bed and watches me sleep. I sleep with the light on now, and every night since, I wake up at 3:11, am freezing cold, with the unmistakable feeling that I'm not alone." He said he was on a business trip, so why was his car parked outside her apartment? 3 years together, late-night calls, surprise flowers, Spotify playlists. I believed in us. Until I saw his car, same plate, same dent on the bumper, outside her place at 2 a.m. She wasn't just a coworker. She was the coworker, the one who laughed a little too hard at his jokes. I waited. I watched. When he came out, his tie was gone, his hair messy. He kissed her like he hadn't kissed me in months. I didn't confront him right away. I waited a week, collected receipts, screenshots, and then I packed my things and left a note that said, "Your business trip ended when you broke us." He vanished 10 years ago, but I just got a voicemail from him. My brother went missing a decade ago. No leads, no clues, just gone. My family broke apart. Every year on his birthday, I light a candle. Until last week, when my phone rang from a blocked number. A voicemail. It was him. His voice. Panicked. "I don't have long, don't trust anyone, don't let them find you, I'm sorry." Then silence. I had it analyzed. The voice is a 99% match, but how? Where is he? Why now? I've changed my locks. I barely sleep. I feel watched. And somehow, I know he's still out there, running from something he can't escape. We broke up, but every year he sends me the same letter. It ended messily. We were young, dumb, and full of promises we never kept. I thought that was it. But then 1 year later, on the exact day we met, I got a letter. Just 3 words. "Still love you." No name, no return address. Just handwriting I'd never forget. Every year since, like clockwork, a new letter arrives. No postmark, no stamps. Sometimes it's a song lyric, a memory, a quote. Always simple. Always him. I'm married now, but I keep them all in a box under my bed. Part of me wishes he'd stop. Another part wishes he'd knock on my door instead. My mom locked the basement for 20 years, then she died, and I went down. Growing up, I was told never to open the basement door. It was locked, always. I asked her once why. She just said, "Some things need to stay buried." When she passed away, I inherited the house. First night, I found the basement key in her jewelry box. Curiosity won. It smelled like rot. Dust hung in the air. But what shook me was the tiny bed, the journal, the crayon drawings on the walls. They were dated 1998, the year my twin brother died. I'd thought he drowned in the river, but now I wonder, was he ever outside that basement? He texted wrong person, but my name was right there. We weren't official, but it felt real. Texts every morning, long late-night convos. He told me things he said he couldn't even tell his mom. Then one night I got a random message from him. "Can't wait to see you tonight, baby." My heart stopped. I asked, "Was that for me?" He replied, "Oops, wrong person." But the message said my name right above. That's when I knew I was the side character in someone else's story. I asked him straight up. He came clean. "I didn't think you'd find out like this." He apologized, said he still cared. But I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just blocked him, deleted our chats, and walked out of his life like I should have months ago. Some people aren't sorry for hurting you. They're just sorry they got caught. She said she wanted space, so why was she at dinner with him? She told me she needed time. She was overwhelmed, needed to find herself. I respected that. I gave her space. I didn't text, didn't call, just waited. A week later, I saw a friend post a story from a downtown restaurant. In the background, clear as day, her, laughing, holding hands with her ex. My stomach dropped. So the space she needed was to make room for someone else. I texted her one last time. "Hope you found yourself." Then I blocked her number and spent the next few months healing. Funny how peace hurts at first, but it always feels better in the end. My daughter drew a picture of her other mommy. I'm a single parent. One afternoon, my 6-year-old came home from school and proudly handed me a drawing. It was her, standing next to a tall, shadowy woman with long black hair and no eyes. I asked, "Who's that?" She whispered, "That's my other mommy. She watches me sleep when you're tired." I froze. I'm a single mom. No one else lives with us. I brushed it off as imagination. Until that night, I heard her talking in her room. I peeked in. She was staring at the corner, giggling. "I told you she wouldn't believe me," she said. "To no one." Now, every night at 3 a.m., I hear small footsteps in the hallway, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm the only. He proposed with the ring his ex picked out. He got down on one knee, ring in hand, smiling with tears in his eyes. I said yes, but something about that ring felt familiar. Later that night, I remembered. His ex posted that exact ring design on Pinterest years ago. I checked. Same cut, same band, same everything. I asked him. He hesitated, then said, "I didn't think it mattered." Didn't matter? That ring wasn't for me. It was her dream. I slipped the ring off, placed it in his hand, and said, "If I'm going to wear something for life, it should start with honesty." Then I walked away, because I won't be anyone's backup bride. She claimed she lost her phone, but I tracked it. We'd been dating for a year. Trust wasn't an issue until one weekend. She said she lost her phone in an Uber. I told her to use Find My iPhone. She said it was dead. But something didn't feel right, so I checked. Turns out we had location sharing still on from a trip. The phone pinged. Not at her house, not at the Uber office. At her ex's apartment. I drove there. Didn't confront her. Just watched from across the street. They came out 20 minutes later, laughing. She saw me, froze. I just waved, got in my car, and left. Because some lies speak louder than silence. My mom told me to stay in the car, but she never came back. It was late. We were driving home from her night shift. She stopped at a gas station. "Stay in the car, I'll be quick," she said. I waited. 10 minutes. 15. 30. I went inside. She wasn't there. The cashier said no one had come in for an hour. But I watched her walk in. Her car keys were on the passenger seat, her wallet under it. Police searched. They never found her. Now, 12 years later, every time I stop at a gas station, I hear her voice. "Stay in the car." And I still don't know if it was a warning or a goodbye. My best friend disappeared the day after I confessed. We'd been friends since middle school. Always close. Too close. I finally told her, "I think I love you." She didn't reply, just stared, said she needed time. The next morning, her number was disconnected. Her apartment empty. Gone, like she never existed. No goodbye, no explanation. Just a note slipped under my door a week later. "I didn't want to hurt you, so I disappeared." It still hurts, because love doesn't always leave with a fight. Sometimes it vanishes without a sound. My boyfriend's mom called me by his ex's name, and in bed, it was a weekend visit, first time meeting his mom. Everything was going fine, until she leaned in while we were on the couch and said, "Jenna, could you help me with the dishes?" My name isn't Jenna, it's Maya. I asked him later, he got weird, said it was a mistake. Turns out Jenna was his ex, the one his mom really liked, the one he never told me he still talks to. Funny how people reveal their secrets when they think you're not listening. Needless to say, I did the dishes and then left. We found an old phone in the basement. It kept calling itself. We were cleaning out my grandparents' house, found an old flip phone in a drawer. Dead, dusty, not connected to anything. We left it on the table. An hour later, it rang. Caller ID, me. We picked it up, static, then breathing. We took out the battery. It rang again. He gave me a necklace, but inside was a tracker. It was our anniversary. He gave me a beautiful locket. Said it reminded him of me. Elegant, classic. I wore it everywhere, until one day it popped open, and I saw a tiny chip inside. I Googled it. GPS tracker. He was tracking me. My location, my movements, all of it. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. "I just wanted to keep you safe," he said. No, he wanted control. I left the locket on his pillow and disappeared. He cried when I left, but not when he lied. We were together for 3 years, built a life, shared dreams. I knew his favorite way to drink coffee. He knew the song that made me cry. I thought that kind of closeness was unbreakable, but something shifted. The texts slowed. His eyes stopped meeting mine. I blamed work stress, not realizing the distance was intentional. One night he left his phone unlocked on the counter. I wasn't looking for anything, but I found everything. A thread of messages with someone named Mel. Sweet names, plans, complaints about me. The betrayal didn't sting as much as the way he described me, like I was a burden he had to carry. When I confronted him, he cried, apologized, said he never meant for it to go that far. He begged me not to leave. But here's the truth. He didn't cry when he sent those texts. He didn't hesitate when he lied. His tears weren't love. They were fear of losing comfort. So I packed my things in silence, left him in that apartment full of memories, and for the first time in months I felt light, not because he was gone, but because I finally was. She told me she had no family. Then I met her sister. She told me she was alone, that her parents passed when she was a teen, that she had no siblings. I believed her, loved her harder for it. We dated for 10 months before moving in together. I felt like I knew every scar, every secret. Then one day at a cafe, a woman stopped me and said, "Are you with Maya?" I said yes. She looked shocked. "I'm her sister." I laughed, awkwardly, told her she must be mistaken. "No," she said. "I'm Rachel, her actual sister. She hasn't spoken to us in 5 years." That night I asked Maya about it. She froze, then broke down. Said she wasn't lying. She was protecting herself from a past she wanted to erase. I tried to understand, but I couldn't help feeling betrayed. Not because she had a sister, but because she built our foundation on fiction. We stayed together, but it never felt the same. Love built on half-truths is like glass underfoot. Eventually, you bleed. I went to my own funeral, and no one knew. It was a mistake. A paperwork error after a hiking accident. I was hospitalized, unconscious for 3 days. In that time, someone reported me dead. My ID was lost. They contacted the wrong next of kin. By the time I woke up, I had been declared gone. And then I saw it on social media. RIP posts, a candlelight vigil. Even my ex posted a teary video saying, "You never deserved what happened." Curious, I snuck into the memorial. Hood up, glasses on. It was surreal. People cried. People I hadn't spoken to in years gave emotional speeches. But no one noticed me. No one recognized me. That's when it hit me. In their minds, I was already a memory. And weirdly, it felt freeing. So I walked out, quietly. No announcement, no grand return. Just a second chance to live without needing to be known. I thought we were soulmates until I met his wife. We met at work. He was charming, a little mysterious, said he was single but not ready to label anything yet. I respected that. We took things slow, or so I thought. 6 months in, I was in love. Deeply. The kind of love that makes you ignore red flags. His late-night texts. Never being able to call him after 8 p.m. Excuses about bad reception or needing time to heal. Then one afternoon, I stopped by his apartment with his favorite takeout, a surprise. But I was the one surprised. A woman answered the door. Pregnant. Wearing a ring. She said, "Can I help you?" I just stood there, bag of food in my hand. He came to the door, went pale. Didn't say a word. I turned, walked away. Later that night, I got a text. "Please don't ruin my family," as if I was the one who broke it. I deleted his number. Because love doesn't always come with closure. Sometimes the silence is the answer. He was there when my dad died, but not when I needed him most. He held my hand at my dad's funeral, wiped my tears, told me I was the strongest woman he knew. In that moment, I believed him. I leaned on him like he was my anchor in the storm. Grief is messy, but he made it feel survivable. But grief doesn't end at the funeral. It lingers in the mornings you wake up forgetting they're gone. It lives in the silences when you go to call them and remember. There's no one to answer. That's when I needed him most. And that's when he started pulling away. Said I was too emotional. That I was making everything about me. He stopped asking how I was. Stopped showing up. One night I cried in bed beside him and he rolled over and said, "I don't know what you want me to do." I wanted him to hold me. To say he was still here. To remind me that I wasn't too much to handle. But instead he left with a text that read, "I can't fix you, I'm exhausted." That's when I realized he was there for the moment, but not for the morning. Not for the long nights or the messy healing. So I got up, dried my tears, and held my own damn hand.